for more videos.
Welcome everybody to some We the People. This is our second series. I'm very excited to be back playing this one. We the People 4.1 is amazing. It's definitely keeping the memory of the original version of this game, Sid Meier's Civilization 2, no, 1 had colonization? Yes, colonization from the original one was amazing, fun when I was a kid. Teenager? We won't date ourselves yet. And Civ4 colonization was a meh version of the game, but people remembered the great old days. So people like these incredible modders have put together this insanely good, huge, grand scale community mod called We the People, and the version 4.1, I'd be surprised if there wasn't 100 different hands involved in coding this and building this. Kudos to all you guys, and kudos to the rest of us that get to play it. Thank you all. We're going to be completing, the link will be down in the description for where to get the mod and their Discord. I'm going to try to get a link in our description for their Discord as well as the standard links for my stuff, but I really want you guys to check this out. If you like the game, get over there. If you don't, cool, just watch along. Single player mode is has a few options. We're going to look at the play now quickly and run through a few things. I'm going to be shotgun firing details at you because I want to get through a lot in this first episode. So maybe slow the video down so that I'm not talking so fast. No, we're going to be going through this as quickly as possible. I've gone through it in the other series. A lot of you have probably seen the basics, but I want to run through this for those who haven't and not leave anybody too far in the dust. There are 8 colonial powers that all spawn at the beginning of the game with one of their leader choices. There's the Danish, the Dutch, the English, the French, the Russian, Spanish, Swedish, and we will be the Portuguese. We're going to go with Mem de Sa, the Portuguese leader. As a colonial power, you each get a civilization trait shared by the 2 leaders. In this case, it's Explorer, so 100% chance for unique events. All the good stuff happens better for their scouts. That's it. And they get more money from the first contacts. If they're the first European to contact a native, they give you something nice. And if it's money, you get more of it. 50% reduction to the cost of making new scouts, as well, or equipment required for making new scouts. And seasoned scouts, when they upgraded to the professional version, they get 50% more strength. As Mem de Sa, I'm not going to go through all of these characters, but as Mem de Sa specifically, we'll be using these leader traits. Experienced Admiral, 25% more swords, cannons, and gunpowder produced in all our colonies that are already produce any. 10% less experience required for promotions, and all the military ships get plus 10% bonus to strength. Charismatic gives us less time more time between taxes, so less frequent increases of the taxation, which is going to be great for us because we're all going to be all about the money. And plus 2 happiness to our colonies. Strengthen relations with other kings, with all kings, and then the Mem de Sa is just a nice guy. Portuguese are nice people. They're just awesome. I don't know what Portuguese were like at this time at all. I just don't know. But I do know that I've met many Portuguese people who are have a very rich, deep culture, and they're a lot of fun. The ones that I've met, anyways. 10% shout out if you're Portuguese. Let me know in the comments. 10% reduction to the cost for Europe, Africa, and Port Royal. We'll explain those later, but recruiting troops. And then I'm going to hit back and go to custom game, and we're going to show what the game's going to be, how the game's going to be set up. If you're playing multiplayer, we'll talk about it in the descriptions or in the comments if you want to, but if you're playing multiplayer using Hamachi, which is the standard way that I know to play it, my son and I play it semi-frequently, you have to not only choose AI, but also choose an empire that they're associated with. So if I'm going to be, in this case, I'm going to be Mem de Sa. Where are you, buddy? You're down on the list. Here you go. It'll make, obviously, he's going to be Portuguese. We're going to be playing on Patriot, so the second highest difficulty. If I play multiplayer and I just leave these as AI, they all fill with native tribes. No Europeans. That's the default problems we've been having. So we figured out if we just pick each of the other empires, then that sorts itself out. And they actually spawn properly. So all 8 colonies will be here. On the left, we get the settings for the map. We're in the Epic Speed. There is a faster one, Marathon, but I think we're going to go with Epic. 200 units in a cargo hold, and it'll be about, I think, 4 to 6 turns, 4 turns probably, to get across to Europe, one-way trips on the east. Sailing east to Europe. 2-slot radius on our colonies, so they'll be actually a 5x5. We'll see that when we get in there. The standard is one plot radius, so a 3x3 for the old version of the game. the original vanilla. There's islands, there's large rivers, all these things you can adjust. We're not messing with those on this playthrough. On the options, we will actually be running with no hidden variables. That just gives more information. You can see more in pop-ups. That's all that does. Doesn't change the game, just gives, as far as I know, it just gives more pop-ups. If any of these things are inaccurate, I'm saying, correct me. Crack the whip, you know. Call me out on it. Reduce colony distance means that if we have the full 3x3 starting grid of a colony and it's too close, it's like, you know, 2 tiles away or 3 tiles away from our own colony or whatever it is, but it's all in our culture, we can squeeze more colonies in if we do it right. I won't go into all the detail, but anyways, only 1 colonist learning per native settlement. Not a default. I like this because it gives an added challenge, but this one basically means that if we're training 5 miners and we can't just walk 5 dudes in and plop them down, they all train at once. We have to do 1, he finishes, then the next one goes, he finishes, and as each one that finishes in a village, each time they teach somebody, the next guy takes more turns to teach. But that's standard, but this means we can only have 1 at a time. The rest are going to stand around and wait. Occupation of a province is going to be harder, or of a city is going to be harder if it's a bigger city. And then the victory conditions for this playthrough: independence, domination, and industrialization. Basically, make a GG giant economy, kill all the other European colonies, or permanent alliance with them. I think if you're permanent alliance and you kill the rest of them, I think you can win. Something like that. I know, just defeating them. And independence. Declare independence from your king, which we will not be planning to do in this playthrough. Sorry if that's a deal breaker for you. That's not the goal of this playthrough. We might do another one where that's the goal. But independence is declare independence and fight off the expeditionary force that comes at you. We're not doing scored victory based on turn. We're going to keep going until we feel like it's the right time to end. And then we just launch the game here, and that will give us our game. All right, so here we are in our world. It is January 1492. Let's run over the map in tutorial style real quick. This is the year. It'll also show the number of turns on the left if you pop it up there, and it'll show you your points and various different things. Anyways, there's 2 turns per year. That's all that really matters there. Founding fathers, we'll go through them later. There's exploration, religion, trade, military, and politics, and there's a ton of them. Think of these, if you're not familiar with colonization, as your wonders, sort of. They give those sort of grand scale bonuses to your entire place, and they're very hard to get. A bunch of other information up top, like talking back in Europe. If we send our ships back here to get more immigrants, we can find these guys. This is all the resources available. We'll see these in our cities as well. We can buy new specialists here, or we can pay the very, very low price of 300 gold to get a basically somebody who's fed up being in Europe, wants to go, you know, this is a master baker. He would normally cost like 2,000 plus to get, but he's willing to just go if you just let him come and pay a tiny favor. This group is the selection that your immigrants come from, so every time you fill up this bar of crosses, someone will randomly be picked from here and thrown there. If you have half the amount of crosses here, the price of this is halved. There you go. Tax rate up here. The king's going to tax crap out of us up to 65%, which can go up or down the max. And he will tax us extensively once we start making good money. This is our current treasury, all the items. And over here, if you haven't seen it, there's an action of your trade log. I like that trade log. We'll leave that open. All right. Our ship, let's see what else is here. A whole ton of stuff. The Colopedia is going to tell us a ton of details. One of the things I want to point out here is that every nation now in version 4.1 has a default specialist. So some of them have a better carpenter, a better blacksmith, a better scout, or a better whatever. We don't get the better scout. We do get scout bonuses, but we get the more important Mr. Mustachio, the Excavador. He's amazing. He's a expert prospector. The expert prospector is 3 extra production for silver, gold, or gems on land, as well as if there's a bonus resource for silver, gold, or gems, he gets another +2. Whereas our Excavador is 6 and 3. Crazy. He's going to make us $1 billion. $1 billion. We also have there's a variety. We won't go into all of them, but hello, Dissolution Missionary. From the We the People Discord. Thanks. Thanks for reminding me how much I wanted to play. And a bunch of other details. Bottom left is our mini map. There's details or overlays for like this produces this much food, right? This much fish. We could have a grid going. which we do, and we can do the overlay for the little circle thing saying, hey, there's a specialty resource there. Let's get going. Bottom is all our things we can do with the currently selected unit. This is going to give us a whole ton of flavor text pop-up. I'm not going through those. Dylan with it is another guy that plays the game currently in this version. Loved his content, and he reads through them all. And it's just very peaceful, very relaxing to enjoy his content. And on the ship, which is a carrack called the Neptuno, we have a seasoned scout and we have a master blacksmith set as a settler. We're gonna go find some land to scout, but what we really are looking for in this playthrough is silver, gems, and gold in mines. Let's have a look around. This is one of my most stressful turns in the game. When you find Europe, do you go south or do you go north? Your entire universe in the future depends on where you make these moves, more than you might imagine. We're gonna go north. Why? Just because we're gonna go north. We've got friends to meet. Okay, an inland. That's not a river, it's just an inlet. So this is Tarano, one of the natives. We're gonna have 20 plus of them spread across the massive map. I think it might be upwards of 30 when you do the massive or the gigantic map. Each of them is gonna have these different traits when you mouse over them. This is what the no hidden information was. So we know they're a farmer. These are different things they might affect the way they do things, like their troops and so on. Forest warriors, so we don't want to fight them in the forest and so on. Raiders, not great if we're neighboring them, I suppose. And then farmers, so good food producers, I suppose. That's my guess for those details. Don't quote me on that one. Cautious towards me. That is because he has a 0 base default attitude, and we're on Patriot difficulty, so we get no plus or minus. I think Revolutionary has a default minus, but the rest of them have varying scales of positives if you want to make it not as hard for yourself. We could like chat with him, but there's not much we can do until we get into the harbor. Met our first natives. All right, let's scale down here. A shipwreck that we got some value out of. Cool. 134 bucks. Exploration's going to be our big bread and butter. Now that we're moved into his place, we can actually select one of our infantry, or one of our units. Basically, almost any unit should be able to do this. And we'll speak with the chief. He gave us a bunch more cash, and he can train us as expert coffee planters. Yes, he gave us pearl necklaces worth 660. Because I have a scout, this number is much higher. This is like way better than normal. Well, 30% bonus for being the Portuguese, plus he's a seasoned scout, which makes his base amount higher. I think we'll keep exploring. I know this map can generate islands, and I do not want to be settling on an island. Look down here. I'm not sure if you can see that. This is definitely a coastline, and this is coastline. So we've got like a little... This is probably an island, or it's a like peninsula, and I don't want to... Well, peninsula wouldn't be bad, actually. We'll see. Keep passing turns. It's now 1493. Some weather things to talk about. So this fog is great for defense. This is a shallow coast, which we can travel in this boat. Galleons and the lower, deeper draft vessels can't go through shallow coast. Fog will really slow us down, though. And this one will not slow us down, but if we fight in it, we can get... we have a disadvantage if we're fighting in it. Okay, more exploring. There we go. Good. Our experienced guy. Our experience flotsam. So the captain will get experience, or the ship rather will gain experience. We'll see next turn. Gaining experience will give him is the best thing to get early on in this. Better than any cash that we got, for sure. Because now he gets 2 promotions. So you can mouse over, see his... hold on, escape. We can see his XP here. We mouse over him. Look on the left. It's 5 of 2. We need to get to 5 total to get our second skill, so you immediately get 2 upgrades. That little star shows you there. We are going to go with Nav 1 to increase visibility range and movement. And then see, we can see more stuff. There's a large river going up here with some fish in it. And then we're going to go Nav 2 again, so another movement range. So he's now went from, well, he'll get that next... No, he's got movement of 6 instead of movement of 4. And another one of this guy's villages. Hello, friend. Oh, this is good. Well, that is very good. 3,042 for a treasure. That's huge. I think a treasure maxes out. We can stack treasures together. I think the biggest you can technically have in one spot is like 6,000 in one slot on a galleon, or to take up one treasure to basically. But 3,000 is good. But more importantly, expert fisherman is awesome. Well, look at that. There we go. We got a shipwreck. The shipwreck can actually give you... Can or always does, I don't remember, give you a survivor. Let's check. Yeah. Survivor is an indentured servant. So he's going to, basically he's going to work off his, the favor of us saving his butt. We'll get this treasure to do a bit of questionably dangerous exploration. He's very, very weak. He's only 2, which is like a wolf can kill this unit. And we'll just keep exploring this way. Yeah, look at that. Large rivers, which is awesome. They can't be sailed by shallow draft or deep draft ships. I think there's only like 1 or 2 basic transport vessels you can use to go up these large rivers. That and there's 2 coastal versions that can actually sail up them. So you could like build a city upriver and transport stuff with a coastal vessel down to like here or something. Be cool. We might end up doing some of that stuff depending on what we find, but we're looking for the treasures of the new world. That's what we're here for. That is a iron bog, okay? And sheep, boobies. That is a feather, fine feathers. That is wild feathers. And another village in there. Oh, look at the bunnies. This is my favorite pop-up. So, sheep. This sheep icon gives you a bonus to producing sheep. This stone gives you a bonus to producing stone. This gives you a bonus to producing iron. This one gives you a bonus to producing fur, but -5 for sheep and cows and horses. Like, don't step in those holes. You'll die. It's just great. I just think that's brilliant. Anyways, way too big of a deal making all that. That's nice. Lumber. Machupara, what's his bonus? Okay, so he's a -1 base attitude. That's not because we've done anything or said anything. It's just his general attitude to foreigners. So that's not as good as this guy. This guy's going to be less likely to get upset. So we'll probably end up being near Machupara and causing ourselves copious amounts of grief, and him as well. We're sending this indentured servant here because this guy can train expert fishermen. So that'll be awesome if we can get ourselves a fisherman. Boop, boop. Here's our boat. Let's talk to Machupara. I don't want to trade with him yet because I want to have those open slots until we decide where we're going to be. He's given us a good thing, cash, and some expert grape planters. Okay, grapes would actually grow here where this sheep is, but of course it'd be better probably to use that as sheep. There's more grape up here. Yeah, I can see why he's there. These are all potentially, they're grassland hills. Yeah, grassland hills to produce grapes. Nice spot. Lumber, stone. That's some pretty good stuff. Even some inland potential there. Now let's keep sailing around. Ah, nice. I like the beehives. They are one of the multiple versions that produce a plus to health in your city. They increase the health of the city when you actually work them. Some more fishes here. Oh, there we are. There it is. A gold mine on the mountains. Well, I guess we found home, guys. Let's actually first talk to this lady. Yep, that's Nunkai. She is one of the really angry ones. -4 base attitude. So she's already annoyed with us. Like, hey, who are you? Get out of my face. Well, I just said hi. You know, that's basically what just happened there. She's ready to shoot us almost. Or at least to potentially raid us, or, you know, we don't want to run treasures past her house. They'll probably spontaneously disappear without a note as to where they went. The fisherman trainee is going to click this button to learn the skill. Lives among the natives and acquires the expert skill. So that depends on. I'd be honored to work here, to work and live here. That depends on the level of the character. So, you know, free colonist is kind of the par. Indentured servant takes a notable amount more. I don't know if it's 25 or 50% longer or whatever. And then the village itself has a base level. And every time that you successfully train somebody in that village, the next one's harder to train. So it's a I guess, depleting bonus. We can talk to this lovely lady, who's not so lovely and very angry. She even looks angry at me right now. A big treasure. Okay. Forget my talk about treasures. She won't, well, she might actually steal our treasures. Not yet. Not until we get her more annoyed. But expert sugar planter trainer. She's going to be right next to us, so she's not going to be happy. I'm sorry to say we're here to kill you, enslave you, assimilate you, or isolate you. The difference is that settlers aren't going to be sorry. Wow, that's just harsh. They've definitely got a particular political lean in the commentary in this game, but this right here is actually great because we can explore here. There you go, another treasure. Jeepers. We've got like copious amounts of treasure sitting around already. We can't even do anything with them, so nice. Little fox for some premium furs. and the gold here. So let's get these two treasures. If we select these two, they're actually both the same amount. No, 1972 and 3400 and something. Might not be able to do it this turn.
See?
Combine them. Now, that was dumb to do because there's an event to get a galleon for cheap from the king that you need to have X number of treasures, and combining them actually reduces that number. So you don't want to do that for real. I just wanted to show that it's possible. And that's 5,419 bucks. If we take that back to Europe, it's that minus the tax, which of course is 0 right now. We're just going to leave them fortified and defended there. We'll grab our colonist and move them up here to find a place we're going to settle. We really have to settle right here. Because if you look at it, we need to be next to the gold immediately. Now, we could expand. We could get it in the outer perimeter. Like, if we settle where this is, we'll get the fox eventually. That'll be like the third. You start with the 3x3, and then you'll get the 3x3 with the wings, the 3 out in each direction, and then the second cultural upgrade will get you this territory if nobody else is competing for it. So we will get that fur. But I really need to get the gold immediately. So I think we'll settle here because, well, we could settle here. That's a better spot. No, that's not, because it's shallow. So the shallow coast is going to mean we don't get galleons and whatnot in there, and that would be too detrimental. Yeah, see, it's telling us when we select our settler, if you have the default settings on, this is a good spot, this is a good spot, this is a good spot. Yeah, I disagree. What we want is the gold, and that's what we want. That's all we want. That's all we're here for. Don't worry, we'll take everything else in the meantime. South Salvador has been settled. We can go have a look at the city. More tutorial stuff, guys. Let's run through this quick. This is your urban environment. This is where your buildings and your whatever, your churches and your village halls and your workshops and all that'll be in here. Right hand side, this 5x5 is our actual representation of the map with our people actually producing stuff on said map. You're gonna stay here. No, you're gonna go. No, we're gonna run out of food if you do that. There's no food production in the center of the town. There usually is. That's unpleasant. Well, we'll let him do food until we get some more people in here. But primarily, it's going to build a pier to let us utilize all this fish from our fisherman that's being trained now. And then a village hall to increase our liberty, culture, and happiness. And the village hall is the thing that if you're looking at, man, why can't I get this upgraded building? It's probably because you don't have the village hall up to its next level. And then we'll get a chapel to increase some cross production. Lovely things. We could mine our gold. This guy can only produce 2 of it. So it's pointless to do, and he would starve in the process. So let's put you on food. Down here is 2 important buttons. Turn off civilization automation. Just leave it off. That's my take on it. What we're building is here. Other details are garrison, the units we have, and any ships will be in here. This is like we mentioned from Europe. All of the resources. A little button on the top bottom left shuts off the ones you don't have or are not producing. It's very convenient to get rid of the clutter. Bottom bar here with this little cute American flag thing is the support independence, support for independence. It's your liberty desire. It can go from 0 to 100%. Half that number is a multiplier, percentage multiplier. So 10 will give you 5% increased production of everything in the city. Awesome. Up top, we have the storage. As we build more buildings like the village hall, those numbers will go up and so on. And the defensiveness in here is a relatively new feature for those who haven't played the recent versions. Ability to your harbor size, how many people you can have or how many ships you can have actually moored in the village, transferring cargo. Good realism there. The barracks size, that'll be affected by your walls. Health goes from a plus 10. We're adding 5 to this total. The yellow number is the total current health. That total yellow number, it goes from plus 10 down to minus 25 or even lower, I think. But every point in either direction is either a positive or a negative to a multiplier to everything, just like the independence half number. We got our happiness here and our unhappiness, different causes. We can rename the place. The number of people, number here is the number of actual workers in the city, not in the garrison. Moving over, we got crime and law. Averaging out with the gavels there. We've got culture, which is what produces the push of our borders. We got education for when we have schools, how quickly our people can train. Crosses to produce emigration, other things as well. These do other things, but we'll leave it with the details for later when they come up. Liberty Bells, again, independence, as well as some political points and so on. We won't get into that now, but production is the hammers. We by default make 1. If we have wood, we can then put somebody here to work as a carpenter, and they can produce more. Like this guy would be able to produce an extra 3, but we don't have the wood, so he will not produce any extra. Growth over here is the last thing we're going to point out. This town has a 131 turns at its current growth food stockpile rate to get the new population. It'll go to 392. That fluctuates, but once it hits 392, it will then remove that 392, sort of, and then you'll get a new person, mostly a free colonist in the middle of town. Good. That rundown done. Jeepers, there's a lot of information, dude. I know. Neptuno here is at the harbor, so since we've settled... Oh, nice. She does sell gold. Oh, yeah. What do you want for this? 1,020. That's like... Was that like 18, 20 bucks a piece? No, not even. Maybe slightly less than 18 bucks a piece for that gold. And we'll sell it. If we don't notice that, we can sell the gold for 40 bucks a piece back in Europe. We'll go ahead and buy the grapes and the food if you'll let me. Yeah, 144 to buy that little bonus. Move you back into harbor. How are you doing for mobility? You're good. You got all the movement in the world. I'm going to unload everything. That's that cool little button. Or we can load things from a list. So we'll take that gold and the grapes. We're going to leave the food behind, which is actually interesting. I'm going to go ahead and sail you down the coast and try to find a faster route to Europe rather than, well, we wouldn't actually sail all the way around, but we can see over here. So we probably could just go straight down and find access to Europe. We'll get a bit of vision on the process. What else? Our treasure guy is just exploring wildly off into the dangerous distance. He's going to get himself dead is what he's probably going to do, which would be very sad because that's a lot of money. What else was I going to say? Yeah, you're just going to keep exploring. Oh, yes, El Salvador. I was going to change it. Okay, well, we'll look at it here. Good. We have I forgot about this. We have we can add to the center point of town. So that's this building right here and its upgrades. We'll either get a permanent bonus of +1 crosses. That's just the capital, just the first place you settle. +1 cross, +1 Liberty Bell, or +2 food. Well, we don't produce any food at all in this colony. So we did drop off some food. So what we're going to do is just do the +2 to give us a +2 bonus from here. You can now see that it has a base cap +2 option there. We're going to switch you to chopping down trees, get some lumber. This doesn't delete the tree resource there. It just produces that amount. And sustainable lumberjacking. And then we can stockpile some wood and then tell him to become a carpenter or somebody else who comes and joins him. This, it's hard to see here, but it is green circled. That's why I leave that feature on, because quite frequently you'll miss these things. We found a wounded ranger. Well, hello. Okay. This ranger can fight this criminal syndicate here. Rangers gained experience and destroyed the rebel. Lovely. Foxes and rock. Okay, so did we talk about these? Fog? Yeah, we did. Ah, Kraken! Run away. That's actually probably not going to be any threat to our boats, but... Oh, hello, Fort Christina. Oh, and you're unpleasantly close to a silver mine. I didn't notice a silver mine here yet. We got chickens. We can domesticate chickens for they'll produce, when butchered, they produce food and feather. So you could actually get down from them, I think. Maybe it's only from geese. But anyways, we can explore the sky. This is Fort Christina. So the Swedish colony has settled right nearby. That's quite close. Well, it's the other side of the mountains. They're settled on a potato spot. That's a little weird, dude. Well, maybe it produces a lot of food. I don't know. We can't sail into their center, so we won't. We'll go talk to... This is one of her... They're all color-coded, all the villages. So this is Nunkai. If you mouse over it, it'll tell you the leader's name associated with the troops. So that's second village of hers. We should find about 5 or 6... Well, maybe, yeah, 4 to 6. Probably of each type of village. Or of each group. Each tribe. Yeah, there you go. He's moving around. Not alone. There are foreigners here. And combat has happened in the New World already. This guy. Okay, you're the ranger. Now, I could let you range around, but I think we'll put you back to... We'll train you with Minutemen. That's a... Oh, 1 and 2. 25% bonus to... Does he get both of those? Just a giant list already because he's a ranger. What does the Minuteman bonus give you? I don't know if they stack. I think they do. Yeah, settlement defense plus 55%. It's the second number on that list. Plus 10% strength and plus 55% settlement defense. So this guy's going to make a great member to join here. As a ranger, he can also mountain climb, which is great. He's going to head back to the capital. We don't want to have a population any bigger than 4 without having a defender in the colony, because there's bad events and stuff. But which is, you know, it's an odd mechanic to me, but we'll leave that be. Stone, good. I've grumbled about that before. Look at that, lots of fur. Coca leaf, that is a sort of a semi-specialized resource. I don't know that you're going to give me either of those. I don't think. Oh yeah, 160 bucks. She'll afford it. How much mobility do we have here? I'd like to buy that fur, and I think we'll wait. I think we're going to hang out here. Yeah, we're going to wait your turn right there. We're going to spend the afternoon hanging out with in Tiscanza and see if we can find any more caches. There's a treasure. That's not what I need. I need actual, like, I think we can make it up around. It looks like it's a forest. I need actual cash bonuses from there. Well, not exactly what I intended. I'm thinking to buy that fur. We don't have the cash to do it. We have a bunch of money value on the boat. This is another one of the first guy, the red guy, Tyranno. Oh, look at that. Gold. It's not as good, but it's on a hill, but it's gold, for Pete's sake. We'd get, like, I don't know, 8 to 10 gold per turn with an excavator there. That's awesome. Near a river, nice little spot to settle. And stone. Yeah, I mean, it's far, far away. I know that's 15 plus 20 maybe tiles away from the... Uh-oh. Brave has withdrawn from combat with her treasure. See, I told you she was a cranky lady. Some leftover construction materials from a former colony have been found. Oh, but for him. Oh, nuts. This is an event that gets you basically disorder for 3 or 4 turns, and you can either choose to get a free chapel or a free tavern. The tavern's awesome. So he's going to have a culture boom real quick there. That is very unpleasant for us. Man, I need some treasure here. Yeah, he attacked the treasure. We came out of it with 0.2 health. He's got 2.6 health. Oh, bother. Move you over, and I'm going to grab this guy, pull him back to defend that treasure temporarily. I mean, should I be waiting? Sure, one more turn. One more turn, Ma. Treasure's gonna keep... Well, you know what? He should probably start meandering his way home. I don't want to foolishly sacrifice him by just running endlessly off into the abyss. I saw some beaver there. Let's get some treasure. Can we? Discovered 320 bucks. Haha, that'll do it. All right, that'll be enough money for us to trade with her and get these furs. Thank you. 188 bucks. And can you also give us the leftover coca leaf? Nice, 31 bucks. So now we got some serious haul here. I guess the other stuff was gold, so we could arguably say we had serious haul already. We got the mobility to head home because of those navigation skills, and there he goes, off to the old world. Let's move friendly together with this guy. There's no rush to get back to the city. And that treasure will get destroyed if we don't protect it. Let's go here and here. We'll keep getting some vision here. That's a wetlands hill, so keep an eye on those. They're best place to get clay. There's peat that doesn't have to have the hills, but it does have wetlands. So clay is an important building material fairly early on. You can buy it, of course, but which is what we'll probably do for pretty much everything we need. Oh, interesting. A couple resource deposits up there. Another village. This is the third of her villages. Let's talk with her. A little bit of cash bonus, and she can train some expert miners. Not a bad deal. Let's check the mountains up here. And scooting down here. Okay. Just gonna keep looking around. If I don't see everything, that's... Okay, I suppose we should go this way. I feel like there's not going to be much likelihood for value in that area, but we'll see. You're probably safe to head home now. Yeah, I can explore a little bit here with this ranger. but I just basically want him home. Basically want him to go defend the house. Ah, look at that. Okay, so we're back in Europe. We have 597 bucks. We can hit this button to sell everything. We can mouse over them and it'll tell us 3 prices. Europe, which where we're at, African price, or Port Royal. Watch those because they will adjust dramatically. Wait, 60. What? Oh, we have 60 gold. I thought it was saying 60 bucks a piece. 2,400 bucks for selling those. Drag and drop. Look at that. We'll sell the others. The coca leaf is actually decent, as well as the fur. So we paid 188 for this fur. That's why I waited around. It's like 500 bucks. More than 500 bucks profit. So awesome. Let's see. We have a farmer available on the dock. Talk to him. For sure. We want him to come with us. We do want an escavador. We have 4,081 bucks. An escavador is 1,600 bucks, and then every time you recruit one by paying for them here individually, the escavadors are, I think it's 10% more each time. It goes up pretty quick. So we'd pay another one for another one we pay 1,800 bucks. I'm tempted to go with I'm actually tempted to go with another escavador, but I wouldn't be able to make him a settler. But we'll just bring him on board here. We could get another indentured servant to turn into a fisherman, leaving us with about $2,100. Is that enough to get a hardy pioneer? No, he's 2,700. He's really expensive. He's like almost the top tier cost. He's slightly below all the like elder statesmen and that sort of level. That's too bad. They're really, really good, but we could get a town guard. Would be a good idea in normal situations, but in this case, having the ranger will do the job quite handily for us. Okay, we could get this guy as a fisherman. See what comes up. Okay, tobacconist. This guy that doesn't grow it but makes cigars. Let's go with another indentured servant, I guess. Ooh, and a carpenter. Oh, yeah. We're totally going to take a carpenter and an elder statesman. Oh my goodness. Carpenter. We'll move this guy back. We'll take the elder statesman. Jeepers, that is some good luck. Okay, so we got an elder statesman, a farmer, a carpenter, and an escavador. Holy crap, what a good amount of luck. All right. Streamer luck right there. That's awesome. All right, let's keep exploring. Got another village up here to talk to. We need that guy to get some XP. What we need. You're going to keep looking around the world here. Yeah, it's a decent river spot. If you had something like settled in here and then something at the gold mine, they'd be able to transfer between, and then you could sail down the coast to the capital sort of thing, and then settle another one or two places over here. Yeah, there's some good opportunity here for a mighty empire. Let's keep going. Where are we at for time? I think we're probably at about far enough for this episode. I want to keep it under 40 minutes, between 30 and 40 minutes for the episodes. This mandatum is a mission that starts the quest for the, well, continues, I guess, the quest for a western route to Asia. The Portuguese, fun fact, accidentally stumbled across South America in Brazil by trying to sail around Africa and use the trade winds to sail way away from Africa. They were using giant, like, arcing, follow the winds down south, and they would come way away from the African continent and sail way to the west, and they accidentally stumbled across land, which was Brazil. Yeah. Well after Columbus had found the Caribbean, but still. Anyways, that's the quest to get to the west access. So these European access points on the map. Oh, there's the event. Excellent. This is the event that does the disorder but gives us a tavern. Haha. Eat my dust, Sweden. We'll be keeping up with you. Let's not explore that way. We'll get the scout to do that. He is the scout for a reason. And he's going to give us some very useful information. And he'll not have any negative effects. Oh, there's a map. Okay. A little bit of water things. Okay, we do have a peninsula here. So we're slightly inland on a peninsula that has a coastal access point coming through here, or a oceanic access currents through here. That's what this is. That mission for Asia wasn't to find this, it was to find this that leads west. So when you click on Europe, this guy is sailing this way. When they're coming back, they'll show them here. It's basically like twice as far. It takes twice as long to get back if you go west, but you can actually sail west and come around to Europe. Okay, so that is a military spot. We're going to ignore that. It's further out of my way than I want to go. We're going to keep exploring up the coast. There's some beaver and things there. This is a nice little spot. Quite nice. Fish and food and iron and beaver. That would very much upset her even more, but right where he's standing would be quite a nice little city spot. I imagine the Swedish will get it to it before us. But anyways, that's where we're going to put an end in today. July 1500 AD, where some number of turns, I can mouse over that, and it's 18 turns. There we go. We have a bit of money floated. $1,000 doesn't seem like much when you're late game, but it's quite a bit now. We have found a gold mine, which is outrageously good. We got all those crazy people coming from Europe. Things are going great for our first episode. Join us for the next one. We'll be doing about 3 of these out probably in the first day when I release the series. I do batch record well ahead of time. That's just the way life works, running a business and other things. And so that's what I'll be doing. That's what you can expect. And then once it's released, the first 3, they should probably come out daily. I'd imagine probably not more than that, but daily is the plan. So thanks everybody so much for joining me. Discord link again down in the description rather. Has the Discord link. Well, it's got our Discord link, but it also has the Discord link to the We the People mod. And let me know if you want, join our Discord and I can walk you through setting up multiplayer, or I can walk you through setting up installing the game. It's very, very straightforward, super easy to do the mod for this. You do have to have colonization, Civ4 colonization from Steam, but then you can download the mod directly from GitHub, and away you go to your own adventures in the new world. This is Grande Portugal. I'm Drake Hawkins, and thanks for joining me. We'll see you in game.